York. So obviously we're not in my studio this morning because I'm actually at my best friend's place. He lives in the East Village in Manhattan. And it's actually been so nice being here because everything's open, all the restaurants, all the bars, and they've actually also opened up like all this outdoor space. They have these like cute little sheds where you can eat and drink outside, and it's actually so nice. And last night I might have had a couple too many drinks and my skin's actually feeling really dehydrated. Yeah, definitely. So instead of my normal routine where I would probably spend way too much time on my phone, come get ready with me while I do a glowy Korean skincare routine. So before we get started with the glowy Korean skincare routine, I just want to thank our sponsor, Isntree, for sponsoring this video. Isntree, don't get it confused with Innisfree. They are totally separate companies. Isntree was actually started in 2009 by one of Korea's first skincare bloggers that actually wrote about the ingredients in the skincare itself. And so the whole brand's philosophy is built on ingredient-focused products. They have an entire hyaluronic acid line, which of course hyaluronic acid is great for dehydrated skin because hyaluronic acid is an amazing humectant, which means it pulls moisture from the air and deposits it onto your skin. So we're gonna build a routine using hyaluronic acid as the foundation. So I'm gonna start with Isntree's hyaluronic acid low pH cleansing foam. I like it because it's pretty gentle, it's sulfate free, and it actually has 8 different types of hyaluronic acid in it. So I'm just gonna wet my face with some lukewarm water to start, and I'm gonna squeeze just a little bit onto my hands and lather it up. So this does foam up quite well, as you can see. I would normally recommend foaming cleansers for oilier skin types since they tend to contain a lot more sulfates in them, but this one is sulfate free, and so I would recommend it for more balanced skin types, especially if you have dehydrated skin. And it also contains some amino acids. So amino acids are basically just the building blocks of your skin. So after I've massaged it in, I'm just gonna wash it off with some lukewarm water, just with my hands. So this might take some time, but you wanna make sure that you're getting all of the residue off your skin before you start layering other products on top. So it actually feels really satisfying to wash off all of that residue. Just a nice way to start off the morning, no? With like a really clean face. Usually I like to put some sweatbands on my hands just to collect all of the runoff from the water, but I forgot to pack those with me. So notice how my skin isn't red at all. I'm not using hot water. I'm not scrubbing too hard. I'm not using any cleansing brushes. So I think we've washed off all the residue. My face is feeling really nice and smooth and clean, but not stripped or too dry. That's why we use a very gentle cleanser. So for the next step, I'm actually gonna use 2 toners because New York weather has just been all over the place. I get kind of sweaty in my T-zone areas, especially when I'm going outside. But then when you're coming inside, all the ventilation and blasting the AC is just drying up my cheek area. So I'm gonna use the Isntree Green Tea Fresh Toner on my T-zone area. And then I'm also going to be using their hyaluronic acid toner, which I've talked about actually in my overexfoliation video on my cheeks. So starting with the green tea toner, I like to store this one in the fridge actually because green tea can be a little bit more of an unstable ingredient to formulate with. So as a general rule, it's actually great to store products that are a little bit more unstable, like L-ascorbic acid, or other really natural products like facial oils. So I'm just patting it into my T-zone area. So I love green tea as an ingredient because it's an antioxidant, but it's also an anti-inflammatory. It really helps to decrease the shininess, but also there's caffeine in it, which helps to decrease puffiness. Plus, if you store it in the fridge as well, the coolness not only feels nice, but it also helps to decrease puffiness. So that's a little trick I like to use if I've had a little bit too much fun the night before. So moving on to the hyaluronic acid toner, and I really like this because it applies so well. You guys can see there's no stickiness at all, and it just kind of leaves this like amazing glowy look. And you can see my skin just looks really hydrated immediately. And the thing I really like about it is that there's 3 different types of hyaluronic acid in here. So the higher molecular weight hydrates the top layer or the outer layer of your skin, the one that you actually see, and the lower molecular weights can actually go deeper into your skin, so it can actually penetrate all the layers of your skin and hydrate it, giving you that glowy, healthy, hydrated look. So normally in a Korean skincare routine, you'd have a toner, and also you might include an essence in it as well. Since I used a hydrating toner on my cheeks, I feel like I can probably skip that for today. Plus, I'm going to be using this TW Real bifida ampule. If you haven't heard of an ampule before, it's basically Korea's version of a serum because it includes highly concentrated ingredients in it. In this case, it's 88% bifida ferment lysate. And bifida ferment lysate has been shown in early studies to actually help with UV protection as well as provide some skin barrier benefits. Plus, it's got niacinamide and glycerin, which is an amazing humectant that's totally underrated. So we are gonna get some hydration from that glycerin. Plus, it's got a triple peptide complex in it, which is good for reducing some fine lines and wrinkles. So it's a multifunctional ampule. So I'm gonna use a dropper full and just apply it. Just squeeze it into my palm, rub them together, and just pat it into my face. You can see it absorbs really well, but also onto my neck and the tops of my hands. That way you don't waste any of the product and your hands get some nice hydration too, since we are still using a ton of hand sanitizer and my hands definitely need a little bit of that TLC. So we're getting hydrated here. Do you guys see the difference already? So I'm gonna use the TW Real Eye Cream next. So you don't have to use an eye cream. I find having a specific product actually helps me to focus on the eye area, but you can absolutely use a very lightweight moisturizer as well. So I like to just put some product onto my ring fingers and then just dot it in around my eye. And what I like about this one in particular is that it just like soaks right into your skin. Some eye creams, I find that you kind of have to drag it across your skin a little bit, whereas this one just completely disappears. That's why I really like it. This also has that bifida ferment lysate in it as well, and it just gives your eyes like a pop of moisture. Next up, I'm gonna seal all of that hydration in with the hyaluronic acid aqua gel cream. So this one has 5 types of hyaluronic acid as well. Look at that, like it's such a nice texture and consistency. It's so light. What I like about Isntree's hyaluronic acid line is that it's not sticky at all. And it does leave like a little bit of a white cast when you first apply it, but it just completely disappears and sinks into your skin. and it just leaves it looking really, really dewy, hydrated, glassy, dolphin skin, dumpling skin. I feel like I've fully transformed from dehydrated, hungover me to like nice and glowy. Look at that. Look at that glossiness. So the last and most important step before you finish your morning skincare routine is always going to be a sunscreen. It's one of the most important things you can do for your skin health and to prevent all the signs of aging as well as skin cancer. I know there's been a lot of drama when it comes to some Korean skincare brands, but the manufacturer of Isntree's Watery Sun Gel, which is Kolmar, actually produces sunscreens for other brands as well, and one of those other brands actually had their sunscreen retested and it passed that test. So it does give me confidence that Kolmar is able to produce sunscreens that actually hit the level of protection that's written on the label. So that implies Isntree's Watery Sun Gel will also pass since they use the same manufacturer. But of course, I can't say for sure until Isntree's Watery Sun Gel does get independently tested. So I'm going to be applying the hyaluronic acid Watery Sun Gel. So I wouldn't recommend it if you do have sensitive skin. I would recommend a mineral-based sunscreen instead. But if you are looking for a chemical sunscreen, or if you're looking for something that you can apply underneath makeup, then I think this is a really, really great option. There's no white cast on it, and it doesn't smell too bad. So to apply, I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit onto my fingers, and there is a little bit of a white cast to start out with, but it does disappear since it is a chemical sunscreen. So I'm going to apply it all over, rubbing it in. Don't forget your upper lip area, and then also the tops of my hands, because those areas tend to also get burned. And if you're tying your hair up, don't forget the tops of your ears as well. And I'm just gonna do a little bit on my neck. Alright, so that's my glowy Korean skincare routine using 7 products from Isntree. I hope you liked this getting ready with me video. I know it's a little bit different from some of my other videos, but I would love to hear your comments. Would you like to see more videos like this in the future? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to give your girl a like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any more informative and fun skincare videos like this one. See you next time!